Hi, everyone. So today is once again the anniversary of John's passing, December 8th, 1980. I think I've done a tribute video, not every year, but quite often on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. And I just feel compelled to do another one. And what I've done, I don't want this to be all depressing, hopefully not depressing. I put together, for me, my favorite top 20 John Lennon solo songs. When I say best, it's more, for me, it's my favorites. So I do consider them the best. But you might not, because, John Lennon, even though he had a pretty short solo career, sadly, he put out a lot of great songs. And so there's some great songs missing from my top 20, including Working Class Hero. And I'm sure there's other ones. You'll maybe some of you will complain, where's this song? Where's that song? It's just, not in my list. And I've included, maybe a B-side or two or a single that wasn't on one of his studio albums. So that'll be coming up in a minute. But first of all, just in case you haven't seen one of my previous tributes, I just wanted to talk for a minute about December 8th, 1980. At that time, I had a girlfriend, my first wife, though I wasn't married to her yet. We were just dating. She was in Toronto, and I lived in this small apartment all by myself. And so that night, I'm not a football fan, so I know it wasn't the football where I saw the announcement, but it was on television. I think it was the news at 11. I was still awake at that time, and it just came on the news. And if you're around my age, I'm 66, or a little younger maybe. You might also remember the jolt, the shock. And I've always said this. It really is. It's like a death in the family. Not that John Lennon knew me or knew any of you or most of you. He didn't know. But for many of us, he was such a big part of our lives. All of the Beatles were. The Beatles will always be my number one favorite band. And it was also, it really sucked too, because, John had stopped making records for 4 or 5 years. And then we were all so excited that he was finally back with a new album, Double Fantasy, with Yoko Ono. I know some of you aren't fans of her music. I am. And so I loved her songs on that album too. But yeah, it just sucked to be alone hearing the news. I don't think I called anybody because it was too late at night. I called, friends and my brother the next morning. So at some point, I just went to bed and hoping, it was just a dream when I woke up, but it was no dream. So, yeah, I think it really, really affected me, even more than sometimes I think it did. And I'd just lost my mom about 3 years before. And so I wasn't used to, the idea of people that you love, even if, like I said, you don't personally know them. It's a big shock, a huge shock that you kind of never get over. Death always sucks. And I know sometimes I joke around about my friendship with Sean Lennon, and I don't take that too seriously. Trust me. It's just an honor that there is a little bit of a connection with Sean Lennon. on YouTube. He seems to appreciate some of what I do and kind of promoting his dad. And I love his music. I know maybe one or two of you out there think I'm just sucking up to Sean Lennon, but I'm not. My buddy Glenn Kellaway also, he had his album Asterisms in his top 9 albums of the year. I would too, but like I said, I think I only bought 3 or 4 albums that came out this year, but it is a great album. But anyway, back to John. I'm going to show you, like I said, just please, be kind in the comment section out of respect. Because like I said, John made a lot of great music. You're not going to be totally happy with my top 20. And I'll have a Spotify link in the comment section below if you want to. There's always going to be some people out there. I haven't really heard much John Lennon music, so I do hope you check it out. So here we go. So if you do go to the Spotify link, just remember the playlist is reversed. So the first song is actually my 20th favorite song or best song, and the last song is number 1 for me. So here we go. Number 20, Out the Blue from Mind Games. Mind Games was never one of my favorite John Lennon albums, but the remix changed my mind about that. It's still, not my favorite John Lennon solo album, but I really love it a lot more than I used to. So Out the Blues, number 20. New York City, number 19. And we're all hoping that, well, not all of us, but some of us are hoping there's going to be a box set for some time in New York City in the coming year or so. New York City, number 18, Isolation. Number 17, Give Peace a Chance. Number 16, Meat City. Yeah, I've always, that's the one song on Mind Games, even when I thought Mind Games was just, kind of mediocre. I do wish there was more, at least one more rocker like that on Mind Games, because I love it when John Lennon rocks out. So Meat City is number 16. Number 15, Happy Christmas, War is Over. Number 14, Cold Turkey. Yeah, I listened to this whole playlist today while I was video editing, and I remember when Cold Turkey first came out. I heard it on the radio, and I was thinking, it's a new Beatles song, and I really do wish. I think it's great the way it is, with Eric Clapton's guitar and everything, but just imagine the Beatles doing Cold Turkey. Imagine. See what I did there? Thank you. Okay, number 13, I'm Losing You from Double Fantasy. Nobody Told Me. Yeah, I love, love, love that song. It wasn't completely finished from what I believe, but that is just pure, that's just John at his best, I feel. Like all of these are just great. Give Me Some Truth from Imagine. So that's the bottom 10, which, and like I said, there are some great songs missing. I'll be hearing about it. But let me know, what are your favorite songs? Like maybe they aren't on this list. So the top 10, number 10, Instant Karma, We All Shine On. I still remember buying that 45, and there was almost always a Yoko Ono song on the B-side. And that's when, like, I didn't like her at first, the first time I heard her. But just, I don't know. I think it was, I'm not sure what single, Who Has Seen the Wind. I'm pretty sure that was the first song where I just thought, you know what? I think I like this. It was just so sweet. And then later on, there's Why, or around the same time, there's the song Why, which is just one of my all-time favorite heavy songs. Okay, Instant Karma, number 10. Number 9, Watching the Wheels. Number 8, Mind Games. Number 7, From Walls and Bridges, Nobody Loves You When You're Down and Out. Ain't that the truth? Number 6, yeah, Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy. Of course, one of Paul McCartney's favorite John Lennon songs. Number 9, Dream, from Walls and Bridges. Number 4, yeah, Jealous Guy. The melody is just so beautiful. And I have read, I don't know, I'd love your thoughts on this, that the song was kind of written to Paul McCartney, that he was a jealous guy. He was, John was, I think, kind of jealous in some ways, but aren't we all? I'm jealous of Glenn Kellaway from the Basement sometimes. Number 3, yeah, these are just masterpieces. God from Plastic Ono Band. And, the first time all of us Beatles fans, we buy the album. First of all, there's quite a bit of swearing on the album, which is kind of a shock. A Beatle is swearing. That's awesome. And hearing I Don't Believe in Beatles, that was a shock too. It didn't sound good for the Beatles coming back together at that point. The number 2. Yeah, Imagine. I know some people are maybe tired of the song, but I never really listen to the radio much. So anytime I do hear the song, I just think it's one of the greats. But number 1 for me is the opening track from Plastic Ono Band, Mother. And on the box set, there's this one, I forget the mix name of it, or outtake or whatever, but it's just John's vocals from that song, no music or anything. And you really even more hear his emotion when he's singing. John is, like I've always said, John is my favorite overall singer, although Paul McCartney's right with him. It just sucks that, John didn't have the long solo career that Paul did. So that's it. That's my top 10 favorite or best, for me, John Lennon solo songs. I would love your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to some comments on your thoughts on John Lennon and your memories if you were around back in 1980. And yeah, so that was 44 years ago. So I was 22 years old. And look at me now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.